Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Such a pleasure to have you on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. This is the Candy Talk. And my good name is Evan Sokinyi. I'm glad that you are part of this family and you've joined us for this conversation with the Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
Good. Yes.
One man, one shilling, one vote.
One vote.
That conversation here is actually causing uproar across the country. The Deputy President says that is the right way to go. Leaders from certain regions where people are not so much, of course, areas such as the coastal regions and so on and so forth. Even those leaders within the UDA government are actually not buying this kind of argument. We are here. Moses Kuria is saying we are the power, we are the government. We can actually implement this without having to continue talking left, right, and center. Let's have it here. Where do you think the kind of position that the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is finding himself here in? Because there are certain people who believes that if at all he wants to become the national leader whom he is, then he should not actually be campaigning for the interests of a particular community.
But all local is, all politics is local. You must begin somewhere. You must begin home. Show me one politician who rose to national prominence and fame and power before consolidating his home base.
All politics is local, so
All
you say?
politics local, yeah.
Kimani
There's nothing wrong with Gachagua. I mean, how can Gachagua make an impact at the national level if he's a nobody in Mount Kenya? He must first of all consolidate Mount Kenya.
Kimani Ichung'wah disagrees, the leader of the National Assembly. He says we are past this kind of politics.
Kimani Ichung'wah is still a young politician. He's yet to understand politics. He's learning the ropes.
So you don't buy what he said?
Well, he has a point, but it's not a very serious point. Because the truth, what I'm saying is also true. Ruto first had consolidated the Rift Valley. Raila, the Nyanza. Kimani Wamalwa Kijana, Western. Uhuru Kenyatta, Central. It's Kalonzo Musyoka. That's how our politics is played. Yeah. So to try and deny that is just to maybe to miss the point by a huge margin. Yeah.
Do you think the Deputy President can actually navigate this kind of political, the kind of political landscape that we are actually witnessing in the country right now, and push for the interests of his community without actually appearing kind of tribal in nature?
Well, there's always the risk if you are, but you know what? It's unfortunate for the Mount Kenya people. When Mount Kenya people meet to talk about their issues, people get worried and concerned. But when other people meet to talk about their thing, nobody cares. Nobody's following them. So those are some of the challenges you face if you are from Mount Kenya. You know, every time you talk about the interests of Mount Kenya, the rest of the country will feel jittery. Yes, but you have to forge on. You have to move ahead if you think what you are doing is good for the country and because a united region is good for a united country. If Mount Kenya is united, it is peaceful. If Mount Kenya is united and peaceful, the country is peaceful and united. Because if all regions are peaceful and united, then they form one unitary state. Yeah.
The certain leaders from this particular region who spoke at that time, and they're saying that in as much as we need that kind of unity as a people, but at the same time, we are businessmen and we need other Kenyans to actually do business with. So by the time that we start going this particular direction, how then does it surface? How does it help us at the end of
it? It is nothing mutually exclusive. It doesn't mean that if you talk about the interests of the Gachagua'S people, you are saying that the other people should go to hell. No. You can talk about the interests of the Gachagua'S people without meaning that the others are not important. No. Just talking about our issue in the house doesn't mean our neighbors should cease to exist. No. No.
Does it in any way, does that kind of debate in any way affect the stance of the national stance of the Deputy President?
Naturally, some people will see him as too regional, too tribal. That's natural, but it's a risk you take. Like I'm saying, it affects the Kikuyu more than other communities. If the Luyas are meeting in Buhungu, nobody cares. If the Kambas are having a declaration, if the Maasai are meeting in Suswa, it's normal. But when Kikuyus meet somewhere, everybody is jittery. So that is to be expected. And that cannot stop Gachagua from, it shouldn't stop him from pursuing community interest. In other words, working for his community. And working for the Kikuyu community, for the Gema community, the mountain community, is not the same thing as saying other Kenyans don't matter. No.
This same concept was in the BBI, of course, now the defunct BBI there. And at that particular moment, the deputy president seemed to have been opposed to that particular idea. Why do you think he has changed tune and all of a sudden wants to embrace it?
Everybody, apart from the most naive, we knew that nobody was opposing BBI because it was bad. It was because it was politics. You know, BBI was a badly kept secret. BBI was intended to move Raila to the next level. Okay? And that secret was kept badly. And Ruto and these people saw. Secondly, because BBI was so close to the hearts of Ruto, Raila and Uhuru, if you defeated them, it will add impetus to your relevance and your campaign. So it was incumbent upon Ruto and Gachagua and the rest of the people in Kenya Kwanza to ensure BBI is defeated, not because it was bad. Then that will show Uhuru and Raila are going nowhere, even in 2022. And that's what happened. So you cannot fault the president for doing the things he opposed. Because as soon as the president became president, he embraced the idea of a prime minister or somebody near that. And that's why Mudavadi is where he is. They have been talking about county allocation, just that they don't have resources. Okay? And Gachagua is picking just one item from the BBI, which is 1 man, 1 shilling. So, nobody opposed BBI because it was bad. No. The people opposed BBI because it was political right to do so. And when the time has come for them to now talk away from politics, they are saying what they think is right.
Now, why do you believe that? Okay, you're saying here that back then it was politics. What then makes it right now not to be politics? Is
it can also be politics. Yeah. But you see, I'm talking in the substance. The substance within the BBI.
So tell me, why has he changed tune? Why is he now proposing?
I've told you, first of all, there was nothing wrong with the substance. Even the courts.
Okay, I get that.
Even the courts had nothing against the content of BBI. They talked of the process. In my view, they were all wrong. But they talked of the process. And the other people, Ruto and Gachagua, had nothing wrong, nothing against the substance of BBI. It was politics. That's why quickly, immediately after taking power, Ruto went to the BBI and picked a provision there and gave Mudavadi a job, using the same thinking. And that's why Gachagua is talking about 1 man, 1 shilling. The same thing, the substance. There was nothing. But again, politicians are politicians. It can also be politically correct and the right and the beneficial to Gachagua to introduce it. Now, again, for political mileage. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how politics works. That's what the politicians do all the time. Yeah. Because you want to say something that will endear you to your people. So if Gachagua reckons that 1 man, 1 shilling endears him to the gamer community, why would he not grab it? Why would he not grab it?
So you're agreeing that he could be actually playing these for his own political expedience?
It is possible. But I've also argued before, unless the gamer community take care about this issue of 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, they will be greatly disadvantaged. And they have given examples of Ruiru, with hundreds of thousands of inhabitants, getting the same allocation, say, for CDF, as a constituency, with 30,000 people, 40,000 people, so that when you are distributing your CDF money or bursary, and you are from Mount Kenya, you are giving children 5,000, 3,000, 80,000 at most, while somebody from Northeastern is giving 100,000, 200,000, And I see this thing all the time at the university. Checks from northeastern Kenya come into the university for bursaries. They pay for university fees.
Okay.
They pay the entire fees. Mtoto anaambia 120,000 check. I've seen those things at the university. So those are issues you have to address. But much more critically, if Kenya is going to become a parliamentary system, which is most likely the case in future, then it will be important to relook at the distribution of constituencies. You get it? And those are the issues that people are beginning to interrogate now, including people like Gachagua. So there is no way a leader from the populous communities of Mount Kenya, for example, can keep quiet when resources are being distributed on the basis of just numbers of constituencies. They will have to question. They may not be quite right, especially if they think the only formula to be used is population. That I will also not support.
Okay.
Neither will I support the idea of equal distribution of CDF money or whatever other monies. First of all, I'm not a believer in allocating monies to MPs and, you know. But since I have no control over it, at least I can raise my voice when it comes to the idea of, should we give a small constituency with 30,000 people the same amount of money with a constituency with 300,000 people? That requires to be looked at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't buy the whole idea. They are talking of equity, not even equality in this.
Equity is what is important. Equality is not something easy to achieve. It's is equity.
But of course, that is the same.
What we are using now is equality.
That is the same idea that the deputy president is trying to propagate this time around.
I think the issue of one man, one vote, one shilling is more of equity than equality.
Exactly.
What is being applied now is more like equality, that all constituencies are equal. So if you are giving 100 million shillings, you give 100 million shillings each. And people like Gachagua are saying no. A constituency with 280,000 people cannot be given the same amount of money with a constituency with 25,000 people.
Okay.
But there are also counter arguments. So we appreciate and understand what they are saying. It doesn't mean there are no counter arguments. There are also counter arguments. Yeah.
Moses Kuria, what do you think is really happening with him? Because he's not relenting, and seemingly he'll not relent anytime soon on the kind of acts that he's got with the deputy president. He says he doesn't agree with the kind of assertions that the deputy president makes, especially regarding this one man, one shilling, one vote stuff. He says, look, we're the government. Why don't we just implement this instead of just going outside there and talking for your own political...
No, that argument from Kuria, government argument from Kuria, I've already dismissed it on a number of occasions. What Gachagua is doing is about structures, about future, something that can withstand time. But Moses Kuria is saying we have the money now, let's just take it and give our people. You know, the way Kimani Ichung'wah has taken money and given his constituents for roads. And everybody else is complaining. That's for today. How about tomorrow? How about next year? How about 10 years from now? How about 50 years from now? Gachagua is talking about 50 years from now. Moses Kuria is talking about today. Surely they are not talking about the same thing. Okay. One is just a question of convenience. One thinks you'll be in power forever. Another one knows you will not always be in power. Yeah. This Kenya Kwanza government can go home in 2027. So Gachagua is saying, let's put... That's what Uhuru wanted to do. Uhuru wanted to put these things in place so that even after he has left, his people will benefit. And that's what Gachagua is saying. Moses Kuria is saying, no, forget about structures. Forget about laws and whatever. Let's just do it because we have the money. Let's just go and dip our hand in government money and put there. No, that's cheap.
Wait, do you think Moses Kuria has deliberately decided just to differ with Rigathi Gachagua?
Let me tell you two things. Number one, Gachagua is a powerful person. He's a strong person. When you are strong, some people hate you. So there are people in Mount Kenya who are not happy with Gachagua merely because he's not a compromising person. He's not a person you can push around. He's not a person who wants to smile with you all the time. So they feel bad, and they want to throw stones at Gachagua merely not because he's bad, because he's a strong person. Yeah? They feel intimidated by his presence. The second thing is, people feel the president may not be very comfortable with Gachagua because of who he is. Independent, strong-minded, you know, no pushover. And they think if they hit at Gachagua, the president will be happy. They are taming him for him. You see that kind of arrangement? So there will be all manner of attacks on Gachagua, not because of anything tangible, but because people could have their own. And you know, even the president, it is not a secret that the Gachagua was not that automatic preference for the president. It's not a secret. It has. Everybody has said, including Gachagua and the president. We all know what happened in Karen. People wanted somebody else other than Gachagua to be running mate. But because of who Gachagua is, he prevailed and he became the running mate. The president may also not be that happy having a number 2 person who is that strong, who speaks his mind. Nobody wants a deputy who is very strong. So he could also be Sakamata. You know, he could also be sending a few of these guys to hit a bit kidogo, kidogo to sio sana. It's possible. It's politics. Because if you leave a man as strong as Gachagua on his own, without a few disturbances here and there, he could become too powerful.
So are you trying to say that Moses Kuria is being used to...
It's possible. It's politics. It's politics. And then, there are also people in Mount Kenya, even nationally, who think Gachagua is not fit to be the deputy president and least of all to succeed Ruto. And they delude themselves. They are living in some illusion that there is no heir to Ruto, that Gachagua hasn't quite effectively occupied the space, and therefore there is the room for them to maneuver and be the ones to occupy that. You know, there are dreams of that nature. And that's, again, normal in politics. It's common. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's wait and see. But the bottom line, of course, what I wanted us to understand here, do you believe that this kind of approach of actually bringing in proposals that actually resonate well with the Kikuyu community would endear Gachagua to his community and work
working
for him actually nationally as well?
He's already working.
Okay.
Gachagua of today is not the Gachagua of 6 months ago. Yeah.
So things are different.
The community has embraced Rigathi Gachagua much more than it did merely 6 months ago.
So has the nation done so?
The nation is work in progress. It's always work in progress. It's not easy. It's not easy to move from a Gachagua who wasn't even quite acceptable within your community to one who is accepted naturally.
Okay.
So the war of acceptability at community level is almost being won. And it will just be a matter of time. Once you have consolidated your base, your power at your base, it will not be very difficult for him to move across. But remember, as a deputy president, you have to move very cautiously.
Okay.
Yeah. You cannot want to be seen to be overshadowing your boss by making friends openly across the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are here with you. Let's wait and see what will actually happen and whether the deputy president will actually succeed in this same region where we are now having different kingpins there. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stop this conversation at this particular moment, but kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time, and please weigh in on this conversation and tell us what you think about what we've just discussed here. Allow me to stop for now. My name is Evans Okenyi. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day.